Good morning, volleyball fans, viewers, and volleyball aspirers alike. I'm Rob Sparrow with Victoria Dennis here in the Chicago Open, presented by the AVP. Has a long history since 1984 of happening here in the Windy City, and we've got our first matchup here on court number one. Victoria, why don't you give us some info on this first matchup of the day of the 2024 Chicago Open?
Yeah, well, we know every match is going to be a barn burner. We say that every heritage event because, well, it is. And this being the third and final stop of the Heritage Series, launching these athletes into the very exciting AVP League. Caldwell and Cook, the duo secured a spot in the AVP League as they are guaranteed to be at least tied for fourth in points among the teams outside the automatic berths. So very exciting for them. We know they still have to have a good tournament. They have that, in their pocket, but they still need to perform here in Chicago. As for the other side of the net with Shaw and Chaim, well, they're going to have to battle and find that rhythm here on the sand.
Well, first ball's in play and taking the first rip out there is Cody Caldwell, who is the local hero, went to right down the street to Loyola University of Chicago, two-time national champion.
Yeah, he was an outside hitter and also went ahead and was the most outstanding player at the NCAA tournament. So very fun to be back in his old neck of the woods and being able to get on that Chicago Oak Street sand.
See came Schalk there taking a rip out of the right side to tie it up early on in set number one. Weather's coming in at around 72 degrees in Chicago. Going wrist away is Cook. Easy pickup there for Schalk. And going thumb down on the blast came Schalk.
Yeah, great rip there from Kane, being able to kick out to that pin and then quick feet to ball. Looks like Kane and James Shaw are trying to run a faster tempo offense to try to beat that block of Caldwell.
Tough serve by Schalk. Going on two on that option was Caldwell, but right middle back was Schalk in transition put away for Came right away.
And there you have it. Kame is tunnel vision right now. He's a seasoned veteran on the tour. He knows what it takes to win these high level ball games, and we'll be able to see it over and over. Standing at 6'5", he has such a great reach.
Poking it through. Sean Cook already doing the double flexor early on.
Yeah, quite an entertaining team to say the least. Sean Cook out of Perth, Scotland, standing at 6'4", is a very fun athlete to watch. Lots of personality if you follow this team on social media or the AVP as well.
A little delay on the court there. As you see Cody Caldwell waiting for that serve. Trailing 2-3. Ball's passed a little tight over to Schalk, and Shaw just takes care of business because he's such a big presence at the pin.
A huge presence. Shaw was actually a setter on the indoor side, played at Stanford, part of Team USA as well, stands at 6'8". So he sees the court tremendously well. And he has played this game for a long time as a setter, right? So he was the quarterback out there running these plays, but now he's on the sand having to do a little bit of everything, and he's exceeding.
We've got a 3-4 at the side switch, and just a little bit about James Shaw. He is one of the most lethal setters in his indoor days because it was a rarity to see a 6'8" lefty setter or a setter who could hit with their left hand as big as he was and would get the option ball over. And back in those days, the shove didn't exist as often when Shaw was indoors. Little shake and bake plays, back set by Shaw, showing off his skills there and putting away his came Shaw.
Yeah, great use of running that high level offense. Both of these athletes, 6'5" and 6'8", they're able to contact the ball so high, both when they're setting with their hands and attacking. So it's going to be a very fast offense from them all game long.
See that poke by Schalk right over the block of Caldwell and a little jumbo top spin roll. Actually, it's called long. I thought Cook may have grabbed that. It was so close.
So Schalk and Shaw seeing a 3-point lead early on in this match, but still plenty of ball game.
It's at an early feel out stage of our match here. First match of the day, first few points.
20. Highlight.
Caldwell winding up and sitting in the pocket. The angle is Schalk. Great dig by Schalk in the pursuit. Going high off the inside hand of Caldwell. Knuckle poke, unsuccessful. A big shot, blaming the net.
Yeah, that looked like the right play from Cook and Caldwell, but I guess it just went a bit wide there. We could expect to see them start to run a few plays here with the option, and they got a break there from that missed serve.
We got to hate giving those free points. Those service errors or unforced errors to the other side, especially in rally score.
Yeah, you have to be able to find your rhythm, especially at the service line. It's your first line of attack at this level of volleyball.
Big swing dug by Cook. Cook seeing the defense shift over, and he goes wrist away in that deep corner.
Yeah, he has such great vision back there. Cook was an indoor libero, played for the British national team, Great Britain national team, excuse me, and played professionally indoor for 10 years. So Cook can see the game very well. He reads well on defense. One thing that you'll notice about his defense is that he waits, reads, and then reacts to the ball.
Going wrist away is James Shaw, just seeing that block easily of Cody Caldwell.
Yeah, and it'll go point for point all game long, especially with both teams usually siding out at such a high percentage. Caldwell and Cook are going to need to find a couple points here at the service line.
Another service there on the side of Schalk and Shaw, making it 6-8 on the turn. What are you seeing early on here between these two teams here, Vic?
Yeah, well, a couple unforced errors from Cook and Caldwell gave that early lead to Schalk and Shaw. So that's why they're able to have a 2-point lead here now. But with the vision of Cook and Caldwell, I would expect them to close this into a tied ball game.
Big rip at the outside by Shaw, dug by Cook. Look at that placement roller by Cook. How in tarnation did he get that ball in transition and put that away? That baby cutting.
Yeah, defying physics out there. Sean Cook, great thumbs down on that ball, catching the outside of it. Placement, not power from Cook.
Lover, not a fighter stance there, Vic. Bump high set to Shaw, and it goes over the block with a diving Caldwell.
That pocket was open there as Cook took a step into that seam. Even at this level, you're not able to cover everything on the court. Might have to give up 1 or 2 shots. That was just great vision.
Stepping back to serve came Schalk. 6'5" defender from Red Deer, Alberta, Canada. Cracking the whip in the corner. Cody Caldwell just going thumb down. Everyone's liking the corners right now.
They really are. They're carving up those sidelines, and that's one thing that these teams train every single day. They put cones out on the court. They go back into their side, and they say, okay, we're going to carve up these sidelines and really break down this court.
Yeah, that faux attack by Shaw held the Caldwell, and Schalk able to get a good put away.
Yeah, great put away there from Schalk. Has been on the AVP tour for many years. His rookie season in 2017.
P20s, I see. Can we just call them Schalk? James! Sure. A lot easier for us, that's for sure.
Schalk.
Yes! Fucking get that one. Way to get that one.
And Shaw this time dropping it, going cross body on that knuckler.
I like that team name, Schalk. That's a great idea there.
Phonetically and spelling wise is the only difference. If you guys aren't on the crowd zone. We like T20's solution. It saves our vocabulary for the day and the use of verbiage. Dropping that shot down the lines, Cody Caldwell, and the overdig misses about a couple feet wide, but one of the most wicked outside hitters in the indoor game was Cody Caldwell by his most outstanding player performance in the national championship match in 2015 at Stanford University, which is ironically where James Shaw played.
So they've been battling against each other for quite some time. They saw each other on the youth side when their club's team would travel and play against one another, and then at the collegiate level, and now on the AVP. So these athletes have deep roots against each other and are able.
We reach our first technical timeout with Schalk and Shaw leading 12-9, but I wanted you to continue your thought there, Victoria. I know you're going into something deep there.
Yeah, they've been exposed to each other for a really long time, right? Their gameplay dating back to the youth side when their clubs played against each other. They saw each other at the collegiate level as well, and now the AVP. So it's really fun for these athletes, especially on the men's side. It is a smaller community than the women's. So these men have just their entire career, some of them have been able to play against each other. And it's just really fun. Part of the culture of this game is that they're able to have, good banter maybe, and they respect each other's game. They played against each other for so long, and that's part of the good fun that we see here on the AVP.
Most of them. Well, let's talk about the Chicago Open here. $300K in prize money to be split evenly between the genders. It means $150K each, but great payout for the men and the women, Vic.
Yeah, and we've seen that at the Heritage events, and it's an exciting week as the pack will all now lead to the AVP League, and we'll see what happens here in the next couple of weeks when the league starts. It'll start at the UCLA tennis courts, hosting the inaugural kickoff of weekend one of the AVP League, and there'll be some cash money over there as well.
Option ball goes off block of Shaw. A successful stuffage of Caldwell in that second ball attack.
Caldwell is a force to be reckoned with at the net. He just takes up so much space and has had at least 3 blocks in all 5 matches in Manhattan Beach, including 9 in one match. So pay attention to Caldwell's block. He takes up a lot of space.
Ball pops over off the dig. Cook fakes the attack and back set, showing off his indoor hands. Shaw just goes to an off-speed shot, cutting it inside the block of Caldwell.
Team Schalk. Is that correct, Rob? We're saying Schalk now?
Sure. It makes it a lot easier on us, that's for sure.
Yeah, we can have fun with it. Why not? But they are just firing right now with their offense. They're not afraid to get after it. And we saw them challenging that seam ball in between Caldwell and Cook. It was just a bit long, but they're playing a very aggressive offensive game.
Yeah, 14 serving to 10. 10 serving to 14. Caldwell with a tough cross-court serve, overpass, picked up by Cook on that free ball. Great anticipation by Schalk down the line. Stuff up top by Caldwell, and he gets himself some patrolling of the airspace above Chicago there.
There you go. He waited, delayed, and then reached into that seam. He was able to recognize that it was a bit of an off shot and then delay his block to grab that ball.
Black Mamba Beto. I see it. Any AVP League payout info? There's none as of yet, unless Victoria's got more information since we went to bed last night. Not together, apart, but we were looking at our information late into the evening preparing.
Yeah, nothing from my end, but I like to say there should be a couple nice paychecks. Why not?
15 serve 11 and ace missed chest wide on that serve by Shaw. Thought maybe could have tagged that sideline.
Yeah, it looked really close from this angle. Couldn't have been closer. I like that aggressive serve challenging those sidelines.
Good. They're working on Shaw. He's the lethal attacker, as you see there, as he blasts one off of Cook.
Yeah, Cook staying inside that armpit of Caldwell. He was right there in that seam. Don't know what he saw or what he was reading, but he was one step away from that ball. These guys hit pretty fast. On the women's side, they're ripping balls as well. So sometimes it's just a reaction play instead of being able to read.
70 miles per hour plus on the guys' side, at least on jump serve. We've been starting to see 80 mile per hour jump serves in the men's game indoors. So they're bringing that same heat down to the beach, as you see. Shaw again throwing the trash down.
Yeah, that right hand was able to take away that line. He was able to go head up on that ball and then just take his lane away there on that sideline.
And the unforced error into the net results in a point for Caldwell Cook, 13-17.
This is where Caldwell and Cook need to push at the service line if you're rooting for the Scotsman and the local Newport Beach Harbor kid.
Screen over the block is Schalk. Caldwell with the attack error makes it 18-13 for Schalk.
Yeah, the unforced errors are racking up right now for Caldwell and Cook. We don't see them play like this too often, so maybe it's just, who knows, maybe a little bit of jet lag. I mean, everybody has to fly in. Everybody has usually the same amount of practice time, so they have to be able to make a change.
Great save by Schalk, going horizontal to keep that ball in play. Caldwell faux attack and sets Cook, finding the late block, nowhere near it.
Yeah, great scramble play, but Caldwell and Cook being able to run away with that. I would expect them to keep this serving pressure on Shaw here.
I scoop you. Sand looks pretty jumpy. No? Actually, it is pretty jumpy. It rained there pretty heavily for the last couple nights, so it's hard packed. And going thumb down, James Shaw extending the lead to 5.
Yeah, maybe they switch up their service pressure if you're for Caldwell and Cook and maybe put it on Schalk there. James Shaw doing a great job of first ball side out.
Beautiful pass by Caldwell, and ripping it inside the block is Caldwell.
Great rip from Caldwell. He has such a fast arm on that ball. We can take a look at this replay here. He's able to beat the block by getting his hand to the ball so fast. Shaw drifted past him a bit, opening up that seam.
Hi, Scoopy. Who do you think has the prettiest hands on the tour? Not necessarily best setter, but cleanest hands. And why is it Tim Baumgren? Like that add on there. Of our first set point for Schalk, or Schalk, however we want to say it, they've got the lead in our server set point over Caldwell Cook. Little push set inside there by Caldwell on the put away, buying time, 16 serving set point number 2.
Yeah, good foot there from Caldwell. He was approaching straight forward, and then it was a quick step close to his sideline, opening up that seam.
There's one, baby, come on. Let's go, baby, let's go.
Service error makes it for service ace, dirty ace winner, 17-20. Cook back to serve. The 6'4" defender from Perth, Scotland, now finds us home in Hermosa Beach. Chopping it just outside the block of Caldwell is Shaw. First set going to Caldwell, Schalk and Shaw, 21-17. Victoria, thoughts on what we saw in set number 1?
Yeah, it was early service pressure from Schalk and Shaw. They were able to get Caldwell and Cook out of system for the majority of the first set. So that's where they found a lot of success. Caldwell was able to get a couple blocks here and there, but that early service pressure from Schalk and Shaw really took away that first set.
We're looking at the AVP Chicago Open, one of the most historic events in AVP play. And it's been going on since 1984, but a little extra oomph to this one because it's the final heritage event, Victoria, and that leads to what we've been really pumping is the league coming up September 14th, 15th.
Yeah, and I'm so excited for the league. The draft will happen shortly after Chicago. There's 8 teams in the league, and they're going to be battling head to head every weekend into November. And it is just going to be an exciting time. I mean, we haven't seen this format on the sand before, and I think that this new form of volleyball is just, it's going to be all gas, no breaks. Gameplay, it's going to be 3 sets to 15, so teams are going to have to change their strategy on the sand. So it'll be interesting to see how they manipulate their gameplay into trying to win these quick sets to 13.
Well, with there only being 8 teams, you know they're going to have to, like you're saying, all gas, no brakes, or pedal the metal the full way. They can't give up any points because it's going to come down to, obviously head-to-head, wins and losses head-to-head, and then points. Well, those errors are going to start mounting up in the scoring format as like who is going to get seeded where, and you definitely don't want to get a tough seed on your first match if you're playing in that league championship.
Right, and so all those points matter, and I'll be able to break down what that looks like for your team. If you win in 2 or win in 3, your team gets 3 points or 2 points, and those will all add up into the seeding of how you're placed into the championship bracket tournament.
Interesting question comes up on the Crowd Zone. Announcers, what's a city AVP isn't going to this year or has never gone that you think they should add? Easy. Hermosa Beach. Thumb down pound to start us off here in set number 2 by Sean Cook. Or correction, Cody Caldwell. Actually, no, we got shirtless Schalk knocking it down.
Yeah, Schalk putting that ball away very efficiently. His team hit 650 in set number 1. Shaw batting 818 for their side.
Caldwell wiping it off the block, outside hitter style, looking for those hands of Shaw off hands and off the standard. 1-1. Option ball knocked down by Shaw. 2-1.
And we've seen a lot of that option play on the international side, and now having quite a presence here domestically as well. And why teams are utilizing that option play, well, it's to speed up that offense and to hold this blocker on the other side.
Got passed by Cook, but good set by Caldwell results in the cross-court blast by Cook.
Yeah, great play there from Cook. We can take a look at this replay, and it's a fast arm to beat that block of Shaw. Big blockers have a tendency to reach up to the ball, and sometimes you just got to go fast across that tape.
Shaw going through the uprights of Caldwell, going head on into the block.
Yeah, quite the field goal there from Shaw. He is just in rhythm right now, and when you have that tunnel vision, it is pretty hard to stop somebody. Right now, Shaw on the ball game, he's batting 846 with 0 errors. 13 attempts, 11 kills.
Different in the service error range as we see another ball get served into the net there. Total of 7 service errors for Schalk. The team, not the person.
Cody, back to middle.
Weird overpass attack. Caldwell got there a little late and had to take a little off. I think he wanted to send one into downtown Chicago.
Yeah, doing what they do best, and that's just keeping it weird on their side for Caldwell and Cook. They do some crafty things, and sometimes they just look at each other and say, okay, well, that works.
That brings Caldwell back to serve here on our near side with a 1-point lead in the first switch of set number 2.
You short, yep. Okay.
Great serve. Little placement top spin winner for Caldwell.
Carving that ball up, Caldwell does a great job of this at the service line. He's able to manipulate that ball before it even crosses the plane of the tape to give it the direction he wants to drop quickly on the sand or go deep into those corners.
Caldwell Cook, the number 5 seed at the 2024 AVP Chicago Open. You see that service there, Miss Long.
And that's the ace to air ratio that you have to be okay with on your side. Cook saying that he saw it tag that end line, but it's going to go in the favor of Schalk and Shaw.
Little discussion courtside with our referee, Sean Cook, a friendly chap, I'll have to say, on the court, or a very, we'll say, charismatic personality if you get to see them in person. It's too bad our mics aren't on courtside. I'm sure he's entertaining as well.
Very entertaining. Cook has 2 wins under his belt, both on the Tour Series this past year in 2023 in Wapaka and Laguna, both with Caldwell. So they have great rhythm, as we see there on their side.
Well, this is only their 9th event playing together, Vic, and it's great seeing the success they're having with such a, we'll call it a more rookie pairing.
Yeah, they are a rookie pairing, but what makes them very successful is their setting as well. I can break that down here after this play.
James Shaw just lighting it up down the line.
So yes, we know that Caldwell can put a ball away, can block volleyballs. What a play there from Shaw, as we see in this replay. But Caldwell sets very well, giving his partner Sean Cook a high hitting percentage as of recently. Cook has hit at least 408 of his 11 matches in the Heritage events this season and is hitting 463 on the season.
Wow. See Cody Caldwell light it up there. We're getting into just a slugfest right now between the outside hitter, former outside hitter, and Cody Caldwell, and the opposite setter in James Shaw, because they're just letting her rip here in set number 2 so far.
Yeah, both of them having a big indoor presence and carrying that onto the sand. A lot of power attacks from them, less of the finesse.
And there's another one by Shaw, just cracking it on the second ball.
Yeah, it is lethal. If you are James Shaw, standing at 6'8" and a lefty, a lot of cool things will go your way, to say the least.
Float serve misses wide. Wisely letting that go, Sean Cook.
Yeah, great eye there, letting them solidify a 2-point lead, their first decent lead here in this ball game. And they've been able to lock in a few unforced errors on their side in set number 1. They had 6 attack errors and 1 service error. So they're able to minimize those errors here. And as a team, they're batting 1,000 at the moment.
I laugh because we get another service error, this time by Caldwell. So the service error is mounting up here in set number 2.
Yeah, it's always when we talk about it.
Well, going into the second set, Caldwell and Cook had 0 service errors, and now they have 3. Schalk and Shaw have a combined 8. Actually, make that 9 between them.
So teams trying to find their rhythm at the service line, but why we see such a high number of service errors is because they have to be aggressive to get both sides out of system. When both teams are in system, as we see there from Shaw and Schalk, it is a high first ball put away.
Love that vision by James Schalk. He saw the block of Caldwell and you could see him. He had no intention of hitting down. He was going off hands. Beautiful set to the right pin. Going off speed was Cook. Great read by Schalk, and Schalk again just going over the top with a spinner.
Yeah, fantastic read from Schalk. He saw Sean's shoulders facing that sideline, and then a quick play, a tempo set in transition. Shaw was able to get that ball to the pin to him.
Again, they're going to Cook, and Cook off speed, just inside the block, easily done.
Yeah, carving that ball up on the side of it, being able to beat that block.
Cook serving right down the middle. You see him moving left and right on that baseline.
Oh! Back.
That ball in. Cross court swing by Sean. It's called out. No argument needed. Cook steps back up 11-9.
Sean dancing around as the fans here courtside, some with coffee and laughing early in the morning here lakeside at Cook and Caldwell. Sometimes you just have to create that energy on your side, and that false energy sometimes when you're trying to find it, and that's something that Cook and Caldwell have no issue doing. Specifically Sean Cook, he dances around, he has a good time. It's a game at the end of the day, and if you're able to play with maybe a little less pressure and bring some fun and funk to it, why not?
Well, it's got to be cool for Cody Caldwell to play in front of the former Loyola of Chicago people in town as Shaw gets dug by Cook. Great second ball by Cody Caldwell.
And that's exactly how they're going to continue to solidify a lead here in the second set, controlling those digs on their side, utilizing that option play.
Well, we go into the technical timeout with Caldwell and Cook leading 12-9. But Vic, I wanted to hit you up on that question that came up in the crowd zone. What's a city AVP isn't going to this year or has never gone that you think they should add?
You know, I feel like the heartland of America needs a little love. Yes, we're in Chicago, but we know Nebraska has a huge volleyball following with over 90,000 people going to an indoor women's match that sold out the Nebraska football stadium this last year. So Lincoln, Nebraska, is that the right city?
Lincoln or Omaha. They're only 45 minutes apart, so, and they have both quite the following of volleyball in that state.
Yeah, creating a record there for the most attendance in any women's sport around the world. It's Nebraska women's volleyball. Over 90,000 people in their football stadium.
92,000 and change, Vic. That was amazing at the Memorial Stadium.
Yes, and you know what? I think they'd love to see the AVP in their neck of the woods.
And plus, there are a lot of former volleyball stars, or actually, there's still stars coming from the state of Nebraska. Good pass by Shaw. Shaw going head-to-head against Caldwell. Love seeing this matchup at the net.
Yeah, it is really just big man versus big man up there. Sure, Shaw has a couple inches on Caldwell, but Caldwell's reach, you can see he gets his head over that net when he's blocking, but the angles where Shaw is contacting this ball are really difficult to stop.
Why is it letting that go? Long is Cody Caldwell. He's always in a passing rotation for Loyola in the two-man pass back in his day in the indoor game. One of the top passers in the game, as a matter of fact.
50.
Great set by Shaw on the jump set. Adds a little flair to the offense for Schalk.
Well, they recognized that Caldwell was running up to the net, so when they had an in-system pass like that, it has to be a quick tempo set to side them out. Caldwell wasn't able to get there in time.
Looping serve in the shallow area 6, and Caldwell easily takes care of business, no block up.
And there you go, utilizing that option play, a short serve to Cook, Cook being able to get his feet to that ball and lift it in system to Caldwell.
Cook looking to serve the 6'4" defender, now finds his home in Hermosa Beach. Another short serve. Shaw steps in to take it, and Shaw cracks the whip down the line.
All teams are feasting here in Chicago. Chicago trails Manhattan Beach on the list of most frequented stops on the AVP Tour history. So a lot of history here in Chicago for the AVP, and these teams know it.
Caldwell on the broken play. Attack error gives Schalk and Shaw only a 1-point deficit now.
Finding that rhythm, Shaw, as we see in this replay, just clamping down. It was a bit of a tight set.
Shaw stepping back to serve. Winding up off the cable. Caldwell through the block of Shaw.
Not afraid of using those high hands of Shaw. He respects that block, but isn't afraid to go after it, especially in those scramble plays. Utilize that block out in front of you and attack it, using it to your advantage.
Have our side switch at 15-13. Taking their time on the far side. Cody Caldwell, knowing they need to grab the second set in order to force a third set tiebreak after dropping that first 21-17. Shaw, great dig by, or touch by Cook. You see Caldwell going into the signs. Shaw, another great dig by Cook, back-to-back winners. Cook takes a rip, finding nobody home, sending it into downtown Chicago.
What a play by Caldwell and Cook. Take a look at this replay here, spreading that offense, no one to be bound home, saying thank you very much, we will feast on this open net.
Everyone's going shirtless now, apparently, Vic. Getting a little sandy and wet.
It is very humid here, lakeside. We know we've had that rain pouring down.
Looks like there was a call on that last ball, Vic. So a point went to Schalk and Shaw. 14-15, tightening up here. Knuckle set by Cook on the showboat action. Caldwell puts it away and put that one on the highlight reel.
Yeah, they'll just keep adding to that highlight reel, as they are a very flashy team and they know how to just get it done. They have such great ball control that gives them the opportunity to be flashy, but you got to be able to be consistent with your serve.
Service error pulls Schalk and Shaw within one at 15-16. Thought maybe Caldwell and Cook could have had some momentum on that one play that was Cook crushing down the line. And the dirty kill off the cable by Cook. He was thanking his lucky stars on that one. He hit that one a little low.
Yeah, flexing there after that hit and laughing it off, saying thank you very much from the top of that tape.
Correction, 17, serving to 15. Taking it down on 2 is James Shaw.
Such an offensive threat. Shaw being able to see that ball out in front. They're spreading their offense well. I'd expect them to keep going to Shaw on 2 if they can.
Schalk testing out Cook and serve receive, and Cook
Thanks, Coach.
going off speed down the line for the winner.
Cook saying, yes, that ball indeed is in. Look how fast he gets his hand and feet to that ball. That set was a bit inside, but that his footwork was able to get into that apex of the ball.
High bump set to Shaw, and Shaw delivers. 18-17 on the turn.
The difference right now is that Caldwell and Cook in set number 2 are hitting 733. Well, guess what? So are Schalk and Shaw. So Caldwell and Cook being able to put more balls away here in the second set. Cook with 3 digs to his name. an ace for Caldwell.
Interesting for the match. Schalk and Shaw are out hitting Caldwell and Cook severely, 686 to 350 as a hitting percentage.
Yeah, that first set was pretty detrimental to that team hitting percentage, but Caldwell and Cook are able to up it and now hit into the 700s as a team in the second set.
17 looking at 18. And there's another service error to extend the lead to 2 for Caldwell and Cook. Black Mamba Beto becoming the Nostradamus of beach volleyball in the AVP. He's predicting it's going to go 3. And he did that early on, so in all fairness to him, I just got the opportunity to say that then.
Way out! Come on!
And another service error. Pulls Schalk and Shaw within one.
A first ball side out for Caldwell and Cook is what they're looking for. They have to be able to respect that big block of Shaw.
Easy float picked up by Caldwell, jump set by Cook, and off the top of the hands of Shaw goes Caldwell. We have our
Great.
first set point, 18.
Spreading that offense, we can see here a jump set holding that block of Shaw. And that 6-8 reach wasn't able to get to the pin in time, and Caldwell being able to tag those high hands.
Good tough serve by Cook. Make that a walk-off ace for the second set. And we are going 3 to start off our 2024 AVP Chicago Open, Vic.
Giving the fans exactly what they signed up for here at Oak Street, and we're going to be getting a third set battle. Caldwell and Cook being able to work their way back into the second set. What a different set of volleyball we saw from them from set number 1 to set number 2, as a team hitting 750 in the second set with only 1 attack error. So that was the difference. Sean Cook 6 for 6 in the second set, with 3 digs, being able to solidify that victory, sending their team into overtime.
Victoria's going to ask you, because both of these teams are fairly new, with this only being the 9th event for Cody and Sean together. Well, Chaim and James, this is only their 2nd event together.
Yeah, and it's new blood out there, right? So both teams may be trying to find their rhythm as a pair, but Sean and Cody, they've won 2 AVPs together as their time on the Tour Series. So they won Wapaka last year. They won Laguna Beach as well. So they know what it takes to win at this level. Where Schalk and Shaw, well, they're trying to find their first victory as a team. So yeah, it's their 2nd tournament together. They were at the Manhattan Open, and they're trying to chase those heritage points here if they can. They're on the coattails, trying to work their way into the AVP league. But the duo of Caldwell and Cook, we saw them play as a team that we know in the second set. So it will be a barn burner in the third.
Yeah, I'm going into the crowd zone and looking at some of the cities. Other than Paris and Stade, and Vienna, Chicago, New York City, and I did see another one, but I missed it as it went down. But all great cities. We're going to actually see 2 of the league events in New York, I believe, if I remember off the top of my head.
All right, guys.
Yes, Brooklyn, or I have to look at the list, but the New York Nitro is going to be one of the teams represented.
And the Brooklyn
Blaze.
2 pretty cool names.
I think Brooklyn Blaze, I like that. Palm Beach Passion is a fun name as well. Who knows?
That could be a team of housewives of Palm Beach or something.
Exactly, a little reality TV down there.
All right, we got a race of 15. All players set up on the court. Who shall advance? Will it be the number 5 seed of Caldwell and Cook or the 12 seed of Schalk and Shaw, who drops into the contenders bracket to play for their life? Cook working on Shaw, now donning the black t-shirt. He's switching between black and white black is what he wore in the first set. I wonder if suspicion has to do anything with a change of shirts.
Yeah, why not? And he'll lean into that with a change of shirts with a swing like that for a first ball side out.
Shaw delivers down the line towards Caldwell. Cook knuckles off the block, tooling Shaw, getting there a little late off the serve.
Quick first ball side outs for both teams. They're going to have to really fight that serve and pass battle. We say it every match, but it is so true.
Yes, well, I see 0 league events in New York. I just thought it was cool they had 2 teams represented. Almost a dirty ace, but saved by Caldwell, realizing that it slingshotted, but turning out the lights real fast was James Shaw in that stuff block.
Yeah, leaning into that hard cross. He saw Caldwell wanting that corner in the scramble play and just going head up on that ball, grabbing it over that tape. You'll hear the defender sometimes in the back row saying, grab the ball, 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 ball. That just means forget your blocking call and just go ahead and grab that volleyball.
Go. Middle.
Overpass picked up by Caldwell. Knuckle set again by Cook.
Yeah, 20.
Cook looks, forces it through Shaw, and they're looking for a call at the net. I believe there is a net on Cook. They show the replay there. I didn't quite see where it would have touched. I'm going to guess it was up high. 3-1 lead for Schalk and Shaw.
2. Highlight.
And going off the block, Cody Caldwell wisely turning his hand to the outside and hitting the outside hand of Shaw.
Yeah, a veteran swing there from Caldwell. He's comfortable on that pin, especially on the left side, as we know from his indoor days. But great work of utilizing those high hands.
Real tight here in our third set tiebreak. Winner of this match will face the Olympians Chase Buttinger and Miles Evans. High pass. Look at that whip by Shaw, just going cross court on the rip.
Yeah, the angles that he's able to put this ball away are detrimental. I mean, take a look. Cody was even clamping down on that angle, but Shaw being able to reach so high just carves it up on the outside.
Pass off the net. Caldwell's going to take a rip as he does, and just a couple of feet outside of Chaim Schalk's reach.
Yeah, Chaim read that he was going into the angle, but Cody saw him move a little bit and was able to swing back into that seam.
Great cross-court serve by Caldwell. Stuffed up top by Caldwell. Great sequence for Cody.
Yeah, Cody is really all gas, no brakes right now. Taking a look at this replay, just clamps down, sees that it's a tight set, and does not let it pass. Those are the points.
Sorry, it just ties it up at 4s. Shaw pushes to the high middle set to Schalk, and poking it through again is Caldwell. Caldwell turning on, flipping on the beast mode switch here in our third set.
Yeah, great fast hand to ball there, giving them that 1-point lead. Caldwell doing a great job of switching up his attack options at the moment. We know that he can rip it on the pin, but he knows and respects that block of Shaw, is able to sneak it around.
50. Yes.
Taking it down on 2 is Shaw. Great pass by Chaim. Makes you realize how important your passers are now in this era of the option ball.
You really have to be a great passer. I mean, yes, you want to pass in system to get set, but now the pass, it's considered a set. So you have to be able to not only control it, but place it along the net.
Watching Andy Benish and Miles Partain just pass high balls to give themselves the options to hit it on 2.
Whoa! I wasn't even close.
Waiting for the call. I believe it was in.
I can go here.
Yes, it was. And taking a rip. Cody Caldwell popping a cap in the corner.
Yeah, great seam there. Caldwell dancing.
You set the ball right here. Why would it be on there?
Maybe making fun of it there at Shaw with his set. The two of them going back many years.
6-5 now our score in our third set tiebreak. Good pass by Shaw. Shaw goes off the block of Caldwell, and Chaim is voicing a complaint to the referee. I guess they called a set. 7-5 is a score now for Caldwell and Cook. Yep, there's a... Are you a spin person or the depth of the set, Victoria?
So last that I heard when I was talking to a couple referees is that they're okay with some spin on the ball as long as you're not lifting it down to then up. So they want quicker hands, more spin is okay than slower hands and dropping them down below your nose or your chin.
Yeah, we had that discussion with referee John King at Manhattan. He said, I don't mind spin. It's the length of contact. Cook now going down the line. Chaim, good read. And Chaim delivering through the block of Caldwell.
Great steady side out, bringing them within, well, now a tied ball game. But we'll continue to see the chatter here in the third set. I think that's where Caldwell and Cook are able to get a couple more points off of teams, is just having some good friendly banter.
And that's jump serve misses long for the service there. 8-7 on the turn. It's Caldwell and Cook should get that 8th point. Couple feet long. As we'd expect here in our final Heritage event, it is a battle. Third set tiebreak to start off the AVP Chicago Open here on Court 1.
Yeah, and we're going to see games like this all weekend long. Main draw with 16 teams. 4 of those teams qualified through AVP Virginia Beach.
How about the 6-6 blocker from Newport Beach, California, going over towards Shaw. And Shaw with a lightning quick swing. That wrist snap was a thing of beauty.
It was textbook swing there, a big double arm lift, and is able to just snap on top of that ball.
Throwing the momentum in the jump from that approach. Schalk working Cook now in serve receive. And Cook going the old pugilistic way, off the block and out of play.
Yep, you have to use that block when it's out in front of you, and that big reaching up to the sky. Cook seeing it out in front.
9 serving 8. Bad pass by Shaw, but saved by Schalk. High ball set. Great wrist away shot by Shaw. Twisted wrister action.
Yeah, really carved the side of that ball. We can get a better look here on this replay, but he swiped it off of the block of Caldwell, saying, if you can do that to me, I can do it right back.
9 serving to 9. Misses just long, getting aggressive from the service stripe. 10-9 Caldwell Cook.
It'll be interesting to see where they choose to serve here and what their defense is going to do. Are they going to change anything?
Short float by Caldwell, picked up by Schalk. Joust winning out. Schalk for the winner. 10-10. Everyone's showing off their biceps up top. Actually, it's Caldwell with the winner.
Yeah, great short serve there from Caldwell. trying to get them out of system just like he did. They weren't able to control it for an option play, and it was a scramble tight ball. Cody wrote that play up and executed there.
At 11-9, and Schalk and Shaw taking the time out. James Shaw's had a couple partners this year. Started off with Jordan Hoppy. Now with Chaim Schalk. James' best finish was a 5th at Laguna Open at 2023. So I think I saw a couple questions in the crowd zone, and I think it was a Yes Ball was asking, why is it cool? It's a bummer that they're not going to be playing in New York, but being I have family in New York, it's great seeing the New York Nitro and the Brooklyn Blaze, and trying to spread the awareness and excitement of beach volleyball in the East Coast is always a good thing. Personally, I like Long Beach, Long Island. Kind of hoping on the beach there they'd get a team, because that's a beautiful area of New York. Even catch a couple waves surfing while I'm there too.
Yeah, such a fun area to play, and the AVP had a stop there over in the Chelsea area. So we've seen the AVP touch the New York soil.
Caldwell on that serve, and Shaw reaching for the sky off of Caldwell.
Attacking high hands. Both teams seem to really like that play. See how he keeps his spacing, the ball out in front, and targets those hands.
And serving 11 hand pass, or pass by Caldwell. Caldwell jumps and thumps.
Yeah, no delay in that approach. Powerful approach from him. The sand is a little bit jumpy out here, pretty compact. We can see that explosive move from Caldwell, and his arm finishes outside of his body, being able to solidify that sharp angle.
We're in that short serve area are Cook and Caldwell, but Shaw is just, I don't need an approach to take a blast.
No, he does not. He can just jump straight up to that ball, but great recognition from Schalk and Shaw, seeing that short ball and being able to use it for a side out.
11 looking at 12. Shaw covers a lot of real estate with his stride, so he can cover that short ball pretty easily. And the option knuckler by Sean Cook, and I don't know if you can call that a no-looky cookie, because he was looking at that spot, faked the set, and then went to the spot.
We'll give it to him. It's a no-looky cookie. That pocket was wide open as he came in to set it, and that finesse of the pokey manipulating that ball.
Tight pass, and going over the top of Caldwell is Shaw. 12-13 on the turn.
Point for point. Great first ball side out from Schalk and Shaw.
Black Mamba Beto looking good here. You know that he's a Newport Court local, pulling for the local kid of Cody Caldwell and Sean Cook. But it's never over until the last whistle blows, and we've seen weirder things happen. Perfect pass by Cook. And sending a little thunder down the line is Sean Cook, along with his Braveheart yell.
Yeah, that Scottish roar of Cook. What a swing by him. An elite move from Cook, bringing them to a possible match point.
Working Shaw again. And Shaw. Cody Caldwell takes the angle, and Shaw just goes more angle instead.
Yeah, take a look here. Cody jumping into that angle, knowing that's where Shaw wants to go, but Shaw's just able to still beat him into that deep seam because of where he contacts that ball.
Serving to match point number 2. Caldwell off the block, and they get the dub with the high rip by Cody Caldwell and James Shaw. They take the third and winning set 15-12. Victoria, throw down some thoughts on our first match on court one here in our 2024 Chicago Open.
Yeah, well, Caldwell and Cook were just able to battle back into this ball game, sending it into a three-setter. And what made them solidify this victory is that they're able to just find ways to score in transition. Looks like there's a little bit of banter there from Schalk and Cook, but all good fun here. Not sure what that dialogue was saying, but we know everyone has good sportsmanship, especially Sean Cook when he plays. But yeah, a great victory for Caldwell and Cook. It was a battle. We knew it was going to be a three-setter, but that defense and transition plays from Cook and Caldwell really solidified that ball game.
You know, it's if you look in the crowd zone, they have ideas of what was said between the players, but family-friendly show. We will keep it friendly as we conclude our first match of the day here on court one. Coming up next on court one, we have the number 9 seed of Tim Baumgren and Troy Field facing off against the number 8 seed, the Mammoth, or what we like to call the Woolly Mammoth, and Evan Corey. Victoria, we will see you in a few moments as we get ready to go in match number 2 on court one.
Sorry.